Welcome to week 10 of Explore the Bible. Continuing the book of Colossians. Today we're in Colossians chapter 2. I'm being in the second half of Colossians chapter 2 and looking forward to this passage, great passage. You know, the point of this book, and when I preached through this, I titled my message series that went through this, Consumed by Christ. In the beginning part of chapter 2, he's talked about how Christ is all you need. Christ is the answer to every need. He is completely sufficient for everything in your life. And here now he's going to start talking about some of the threats to the Christian faith, to the Christian believer that lives in a world that has a lot of competing worldviews, a lot of competing philosophies, and things that seem spiritual, that have a spiritual bent to them, it appears, but in reality don't do anything, don't accomplish what they claim to accomplish. And so we're going to look at some of those today. He says, therefore, don't let anyone judge you in regard to food and drink, or in the manner of a festival, or a new moon, or a Sabbath day. These are a shadow of what was to come. The substance is Christ. Here, reiterating again a theme that's been going in chapter 2 about Christ is everything. The substance of this is Christ. But this is confronting this first kind of false idea, which we call legalism. There's things you got to do. You can't eat this, you can't drink that, you can't go there, you can't do this, you can't say that word, you can't, all the rules about the Christian life. And I tell you, we're good at it. I mean, I grew up Southern Baptist. Southern Baptists are pretty good at rules. We got that down pretty good, right? But he's like, don't let this legalism destroy your life, because having a set of laws, a set of do's and don'ts in your life is not going to get you where it claims to be able to get you, right? Legalism just spawns judgmentalism. That's all it does. The law reveals your sin. It warns of the consequences of sin, but it has no power to prevent sin. It can't redeem the sinner. The law doesn't redeem you. But we like to measure our spiritual lives. We like to check the boxes of the things that we've done and check the boxes of the things we haven't done. But spirituality does not come out of compliance with laws. It comes through a connection with Christ. The substance of this is Christ. You're not going to get what you want if you're just going to follow the rules, the laws, the precepts that have been set down by arbitrary people that have decided here are all the things you have to do. That's not going to get you there. Now, I'm not saying that those things are wrong in and of themselves. I'm saying that if your trust is in, well, I've done all these things and I didn't do any of the bad things, therefore I am a Christian. No. Therefore I am growing. No, not necessarily. Maybe you're just keeping the rules. It's about relationship. The substance is Christ. The substance is Christ. He is what matters. Then, let no one condemn you by delighting in ascetic practices and the worship of angels, claiming access to a visionary realm. Such people are inflated by empty notions of their unspiritual mind. It doesn't hold on to the head, from whom the whole body, nourished and held together by its ligaments and tendons, grows with growth from God. Okay, two more things that we should confront here. One is this mysticism, this idea that we've got visionary realm. We can see things, right? The worship of angels. We've got this idea that we've seen. Well, you hear this all the time from false preachers and teachers that will say, I've got some personal knowledge. I've learned some things that nobody else knows. Listen, if you think you've figured out something that nobody else has ever seen, or somebody tells you, I figured this out and I can't find anywhere else or anybody else has written about this, be very, very cautious. Check yourself. That inflated view of personal knowledge, and it just inflates our ego. Mysticism exalts our personal ego. It doesn't give us a heart burning to know Christ and be submissive to His will. It just makes us feel better because we know stuff somebody else doesn't. A true spiritual experience leads you to submit and serve the Lord, not to tell others how you need to come to me so I can help you figure out all the things that I've now figured out. Right? Mysticism exalts the ego, but he also talks about this ascetic practices, which is this self-denial. It's kind of a pseudo-spiritual thing of, you deny yourself, and that's the only way you can be really committed, right? Again, that gets wrapped up in a lot of legalism for sure. And Paul isn't saying, just rebel, do whatever you want, right? But he's warning us, don't think that you're spiritual just because you can follow the rules. Don't say that because you don't eat this food or you don't drink that drink, well, that makes you more spiritual than other people that do. And don't think that because you do that, you're more spiritual than people who don't. Right? You see how that works? It works both ways, right? I mean, people that do certain things say, well, I'm more spiritual than them because I don't think that's a big deal. And other people say, well, I'm more spiritual than them because I don't do it and they do it. They're clearly not as spiritual as I am. You see, neither one of them is right. They're both comparing themselves to other people. The question is, are you? The substance is Christ, right? That's the substance. Okay. So, if you died with Christ to the elements of this world, why do you live as if you still belong to the world? Why are you going along as if you're still a part of this world? What are you thinking, right? Why do you submit to regulations? Don't handle, don't taste, don't touch. All these regulations refer to what is destined to perish by being used up. They're human commands and doctrines. So this abstinence is not going to get you where you think it's going to get you. This idea that, well, if I don't eat that food or drink that drink, then I'll be better. If I don't go to that place, then I'll be a better person. They have all these regulations. Now, it's funny because this verse 21, which is right here in the middle, don't handle, don't taste, don't touch. Some people have actually taken that out of context, lifted that verse, and said, see, even Paul said there are things that you shouldn't handle, things you shouldn't taste, things you shouldn't touch. That's a terrible misreading of the text, because what Paul is saying is that there are these regulations, don't handle, don't taste, don't touch, which are actually wrong, which are not helpful. Right? They refer to what is destined to perish by being used up. They're human commands and doctrines. Although these have a reputation for wisdom by promoting self-made religion, false humility, and severe treatment of the body, they are not of any value in curbing self-indulgence. It's that last verse. This idea that somehow we can work our way into good relationship with God, that we can show him what good people we are by what we do or don't do, by our self-flagellation, our false humility, where we pretend that we're being humble, but actually we're just exalting ourselves, which is an interesting way to think about that, isn't it? That some people show their humility. They want people to see how humble they are so that they can be exalted for being so humble. It's called false humility, right? It's self-made religion. We're just figured out. We'll do what we think makes us feel better about ourselves. It's a wisdom that is fake. It's a false wisdom, right? All of this, it has no value, because here's the ultimate thing he says. What they say they're going to do is curb self-indulgence, but they don't. Because you're actually indulging yourself. You're feeding your own ego. You're doing exactly what you want to do, so other people will talk about what a great person you are. And the point of Christianity is not to exalt me, but to exalt Christ, to put him high, to be consumed by Christ. He is the substance. He is what it's about. And so we're not trying to be great so that people will see how great we are. We're not trying to do right so that people will say, man, that guy does right all the time. We're saying, I want to walk in right relationship with the Lord, and he is my chief concern. And what he thinks is what matters to me, not what other people think. I want to honor him. And in fact, I don't even want people to honor me in the sense I want them to honor the Christ who's in me. I want them to see Jesus. He's the point of this. Man, Paul gets right to us. It's good stuff. I hope that's helped as you study this passage, as you teach it. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate that. This is a great, great book. Colossians is a great book, and I hope you dive deep in it. Subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share it with others, let them know about it. We're trying to get to 500 and then, to 1,000 and just see what happens if we can make it. Anyway, I think we started this about 3 years ago with 30. So we're doing all right now. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. I do. God bless you. We'll see you next time.